How y'all doing? I'm James, and welcome back to Story Time with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right, this one's called Surviving a Bully. Yes, man, when I was in grammar school, man, I had to endure so many bullies, mostly because I wore glasses. I had glasses on, you know. But at first I didn't wear glasses, but then I started wearing glasses, and then that's when the four-eyed stuff came out. Four eyes and stuff is just picking with me because I would never fight back. I would never fight back. They would start something with me, and I just shrug and look straight ahead, just keep walking, keep walking. I just kept going. And so that fueled them to keep bullying me. Yeah, it was one dude in particular. Uh, I really want to say his name, but that was in the past, so I'll just call him Butch. Okay? Cause he kind of looked like Butch. He had his like this from the Little Rascals. He looked like Butch from the Little Rascals. Okay. Well, Butch would hound me in school. I hated going to school because of him. I really hated going to school. I used to ask my mom, I said, look, can I stay home? Can I stay home? She said, get your butt together and go to school. Go to school. So I would go and get bullied. I would go and get bullied. I didn't want to tell my mom that it was a guy bullying me, or I didn't want to tell my dad or something like that, because then it'll get worse for me when I tell them, because I know they're gonna take action. They're gonna come to the school and raise a big ruckus, and then I'm gonna have to deal with the brunt of it. So I never told them. I just endured it. One day Butch uh, pulled my hair, pulled my hair, and it kind of made me mad, but I didn't say nothing. So then the next day Butch would throw stuff at me in the classroom. He'd take my paper and ball it up, throw it away and stuff like that. I would never say nothing. Then one day he made an airplane with a stick pin in it. And he was walking around, and he said, shh, he threw it and it stuck me right here. Yes, it stuck me right here. And I bled a little bit blood. I kept wiping it off. And then I guess it stopped on its own because it was just a pin prick. But he could have stuck me in the eye or anything. So, man, I'm telling you. And one day I was in line in the hallway with other students and stuff, and we was in line, and he pulled my hair, and I would never say nothing. I would never say nothing, and he just kept pulling my hair, and then these girls in the classroom, they all gang together and they rallied for me and they jumped on him, and he got mad at me. He got mad at me because they jumped on him. So it was more on me. Then one day I told him, I said, why don't you stop? Stop. I told him just like that. And he said, oh, really? Oh, okay. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. 3:15. 3:15. And y'all know what 3:15 mean when you getting out of school. So he's going to be waiting on me. So I waited and waited. After school, I wouldn't leave the school, and the teachers finally came out with me, and I was able to get home. The next day, I told my mom, I said, look, I don't want to go to school. She said, boy, go to school. Why you don't want to go to school? I said, I just don't want to go. And she said, you going to school. You going to school. So I devised a plan that night. And I said to myself, I said, look, man, I'm telling you, it's either me or it's him. I had got one of my dad's, one of those. I got one from, he had one in his tackle box. And I found it, and I was going to, I took it to school with me. I wouldn't advise this for none of y'all kids or nothing out there to take one of these to school, but I was in desperate times for me. Desperate measures for desperate times. I took it to school. I took it to school. So I asked my mama one more time that morning. I said, I don't want to go to school. She said, get your butt together. Get up there and get everything together and get on to school. So I went to school. I said, all right, it's either me or him. So I got to school. Of course, he started talking and stuff like that. So he started with the talking and stuff like that. You four-eyed self, you punk, stuff like that. He called me everything under the sun, you know. But I didn't say nothing. Then then he started pulling my hair again. So I told him, I said, stop. What? Oh man. 3:15. 3:15. You better be ready at 3:15, because you ain't gonna get away this time. So I didn't say nothing. So at 3:15, the bell rang. Ding, 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 ding. The bell rang. Now it's time. Let's get ready to rumble. Okay. So I walked straight on out this time. And there was a big crowd out there, big crowd waiting for me. Because they want to see the fight, you know. I walked out there and I told him, I said, he said he was taking his jacket off and stuff like that. He jumping around and stuff. And I was just standing there like this. And he said, now what? Now I'm finna kick your yeah, you know what he said. He said he's gonna fight me, you know. So I started taking my bag off, my backpack off. He said, oh, look at this, y'all. Look everybody, look what he's doing. Oh, okay. So I said, I stood there. I took my bag off, I stood there. And I had it in my sleeve. So soon as he came up, he got kind of close to me. I said, and it was on. He was running, boy. He was running. I was running after him. I was really trying to get him. I was really trying to slash this guy. He was running around. He ended up running around the car. And the crowd followed us too. And I was chasing him around the car. He was running, falling, running, jumping up, running. He was screaming too. So he ran around the car, and then suddenly my big sister came. My big sister came and got my wrist and took the knife from me. And she said, you gonna get in trouble. Now let's go home. So it was not, and he didn't approach me, and the crowd parted like the Red Sea. It parted like the Red Sea when we was walking through, because they were afraid, you know. Nobody had never brought to school before, you know. So they partied like the Red Sea. We walked through and went home, you know. And that was it. Then after that, nobody ever bothered me again.
Oh yeah.
Nobody bothered, because they thought I was crazy. They thought I was crazy. I wasn't crazy. I was just fed up. Okay. Yes, man, man. I advise y'all not to take nothing like to school with you, but sometimes you have to tell your parents. You have to tell your parents what happened. I just didn't do it because I didn't want the backlash from other people thinking that I'm a little punk or I'm a sissy from going to tell my mom and my pops and stuff like that. So I handled it on my own. I didn't have no big brothers. I just had a big sister, you know. So that's it, man. I shouldn't have did that, but it got everybody up off me. So all right, you guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share, share, share. Share my videos with your family. Share my videos with your friends. Share my videos with your loved ones. And even share it with your enemies. Peace. Adios. Salamet. Stand up for yourself.